Peace, family. Welcome. We here Underground Railroad. You know this brother Rich. We out here with Mfundishi. Now this brother, for those who don't know, let me just show y'all this right here. Brother's the author of this right here. Spiritual warriors are healers. So I got the pleasure to be out here on 125th to interview the brother. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing absolutely excellent in a divine state.
Now, you know, let me ask, before we get into the interview, hold up. Before we get into the interview, when you ask somebody how they're doing, they usually don't respond that optimistically, that with such, you know.
That's because they're not the captain of their own ship. When you're the captain of your own ship, then you plot the course that you want. You project the energy that you want to personify. You become that which you are. And so therefore I always respond within the power of process. But I always feel great. I'm in a divine state.
Now let me ask you another quick question that I heard somebody ask another brother when he said he feels good. Somebody asked the brother, how can you feel so good with so much bad shit going on in the world? Your people getting shot by the police, this happening. How can you walk around and feel so good, brother Mfundishi?
Okay, all right. Because see, the world is fine. There's people in the world that's messed up. I want to make that clear. You understand?
Right.
The planet is healing itself. The planet is excellent. The universe is in good shape. Okay? It is certain people on the planet who have a jacked up mentality. But hopefully, by spreading good news, by spreading good vibrations, I can raise the vibrations of my fellow brother and sister, and maybe they'll want to do something about the bad conditions. Feeling bad because things are bad doesn't help the situation. Feeling good when a bad situation allows me to think clear, so now I know how to make it better.
Right. Now, you had a tape that came out years ago. I didn't get the opportunity to attend that lecture. It was called Magical Kemetic.
Right.
It was you and the brother Kaba.
Yes, sir.
Amazing DVD. You was dealing with the mental netta.
Yes,
you was
sir.
teaching us about the mental netta. I have a question for you dealing with that. We live in 2014, brother.
Right, 6255.
What's that? Say that. Why you say 6255?
6255 Semitawi. That is the beginning of the unification of Upper and Lower Kemet, the first nation-state recorded on the planet Earth.
Okay.
Everybody defines their story through their experience.
Right.
So I acknowledge that the Western world says 2014.
14, right.
But I'm in it, not of it.
Right. I love your energy, brother. I love your energy. But let me ask you this now. How was that information dealing with ancient Kemet going to help me today with the things I'm dealing with today, taking care of my family today, navigating in this Western world today? How was that, you know, because sometimes you try to teach people things about Kemet, they're like, brother, you got to leave that shit alone. You got to create your own reality. You can't study what they did. What the world they lived in and the world we live in is two different worlds. So I want to ask you, brother, and I don't think there's anybody else that can answer this question better at this time. How is that going to help me right now, brother?
Okay, you heard this word. It's a West African word called Sankofa.
Yes.
Sankofa means go back and fetch what you have lost.
Yes.
Go back and retrieve all those things of value so that you can bring them forward to the future. Now let me say this time, when you walk downtown and you see all the buildings, at the top of the buildings, what do you see? You see pyramids. You see all of our ancient Kemetic symbols. When you look at your money, what do you see? Our ancient Kemetic symbols. So obviously the people who are oppressing you are using our stuff. People talk about the Illuminatis, but they're using our symbols and our stuff, not in a positive light, but to control you. What you don't know could destroy you. And so I just want to start out by that, by saying, well, the people who are oppressing us are using our stuff. How come you can't use your stuff? Maybe you'll get unoppressed if you use your stuff. So let me say this. Did you take chemistry in school?
Yes.
Did anybody tell you that chemistry means the black science?
I didn't learn that till I started studying brothers like yourself, Brother Kaba, you know.
So that means that you probably would have had a whole different attitude if you had known that.
Hands down, yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah.
In ancient Kemet, we broke down the formulas of pi and phi, the golden spiral, showing that organic growth in the whole universe is in a precise formula. So if we know that, we can begin to use that in our lives, in our temples. Like all the temples in ancient Kemet, when you see the doorway, that's the symbol of pi. The columns were done in the symbol of pi, 6.1. That means they built columns in their temples just the way trees grow, just the way shells grow, just the way flowers grow. So therefore you can be in more harmonic balance with the universe. Now let me say this, my brother. The word sovereignty that we understand comes from ancient Kemet. It basically means that you are in control of your vessel and that you can produce and develop everything that you need. That's why we study ancient Kemet. So we can go back and become sovereign beings again. Even in America, so you can live in America and not be of America.
Yes.
You don't have to participate in capitalism. You don't have to give. I don't have no uncles named Sam. Right? None of my uncles was named Sam. So I don't give Sam anything. You know? So the idea of studying ancient Kemet is so that I learn how to be sovereign. I learn how to do for myself. But most of all, I learned the science of the universe so that my consciousness can expand. See these brothers walking around here, they vibrating on a low level. If you rise your vibration, you do better. Look, tell them to take a shot at the table. Look at the gemstones and crystals. They're helping people vibrate on a higher level, helping them have a greater understanding of this world. Remember, the world ain't messed up. It's people in the world that's messed up. So ancient Kemet could be your salvation. Where do you think all religions is getting their information from ancient Kemet? The Hebrews, the Jews, the Christians, and I made a distinction between Hebrews and Jews, okay? Because some people are just Johnny-come-latelys, okay? The Christian doctrine. So, you know, so all of this, all roads is leading back to the Happy Valley. Not just ancient Egypt, but the Nile Valley. You know, from Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Sudan. So we're studying the whole Happy Valley.
Now, I was watching a YouTube clip from the brother down the block, Sarnetta. He was interviewing a Hebrew Israelite. You said the Israelites, it made me think of this. Hebrew Israelite brother. And he was debating a brother named Reggie. I don't know if you know Reggie, who deals with ancient Kemet. So the Hebrew Israelite was making a point, and I've heard more and more people bring this up. He was saying, I would study ancient Kemet, but every time I look at the temples, they got dicks and shit on the wall, man. And he's saying that a lot of people, more and more people are coming out saying that there was a lot of homosexuality going on in Kemet, and that we try to paint this picture of Egypt as this perfect place, like blacks were living in complete harmony, when it was the same shit going on today as it was going on back then. Right, so could you touch on, go ahead.
Real quick. First of all, homosexuality was not looked upon as in favor in ancient Kemet. And there's not a whole bunch of phallics on the wall. When they showed the phallic symbol, it was symbolic of resurrection, rebirth, and renewal. That phallic went inside of a woman, not inside somebody's behind.
Right.
Okay, so we want to be clear about that. Homosexuality was in Greece and Rome, not in ancient Kemet.
Right.
And there's no examples of that they can show you. What this is their ignorance, because they can't read the Medu Neter, is a misinterpretation. And there's very few walls with the phallic symbol on it. First of all, I've been to Kemet 27 times. I've been in almost all of those tombs, all the temples. When they show that, it's about the Ankh. The Ankh represents what? Life.
Life, yes.
Eternal life. And it represents family. Family is the key to ancient Kemet. That's why even the Neteru are always shown with the mate and with the child. You have Asar, Aset, and Haru. You got Sebek, Sekhmet, Nefer Atum. You got Amen. You got Mut. You got Kunsu. You see what I'm saying? It's always about family. You got Jehuti. And then you have Shashat or Ma'at. It's always about family. It's not two brothers together or two sisters. It's always about family.
So I guess it's our perverted, well, not our, but when you have a perverted Western mind and you see that, you start to think about things like that, then, huh?
But I forgive them.
Yes.
I forgive them.
Now, I've heard you say before, brother, and I want to show this in front of the camera. Oh, yeah, hold that for me. Let me just zoom in on that. Now, when it gets down to it, a lot of us want what you got in your hand, brother. Whether we want to admit it or not, brothers and sisters is doing everything possible to get some of that. Now, I've heard you in your lecture say, we are the currency.
Yes.
Yes. Now, when you tell a person that, they're gonna say, how can my consciousness pay my rent? I need some of this to pay my rent. So if that's my currency, how can I use that to get some more of this?
I appreciate your question, brother.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna break it down so a 5-year-old.
Yes, sir.
So a 5-year-old can understand.
Yes.
If you're hungry and I give you a fish,
Yes.
tomorrow you're gonna be hungry again, coming back for the fish.
Yes.
The dollar bill is just like the fish.
Yes.
So you just running after paper. Tomorrow you gotta go run where you got that paper from and do either some illegal stuff or some slave stuff to try to get more paper so that you can perpetuate the nightmare.
Yes.
But if I raise your consciousness, if I teach you how to fish, then you can get your own. Brother, people come to my table and say, which stone is for money?
Yeah, which one?
And I say, brother, you need wisdom. I'm gonna give you some stones that's gonna raise your consciousness. Because with wisdom, you'll have the knowledge to get all the paper you want.
Yes.
You'll have the knowledge to get a reservoir of endless paper.
Yes.
I have several students who go on and they vend things that no one else is vending. And they become self-sufficient. I have 5 masters and 3 of them have become millionaires. And it has nothing to do with the paper, it's their consciousness. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Again, African consciousness. You know? And if you believe, and then the mind can adjust and make it happen. And so all those, see, we don't even have to make superheroes. All you gotta do is look at our real live athletes, our real live people. And that's bigger than the superheroes that they make believe they got. Europeans have to make up superheroes. We don't. They need to invent somebody that could do what Jordan and them does.
What LeBron James could do.
Right, with LeBron. They need to invent somebody. Look, in Philadelphia, they got Rocky in front of their athletic center.
Somebody that never existed.
Somebody that never existed. When they had people like Smoking Joe Frazier from Philadelphia. You know, they got real champions from Philadelphia, but they put Rocky, a mythological creature, because they don't have nobody that can do what the brothers do. Look at track and field. But in fact, brother, every sport, and this is what they're afraid of. What we do on the athletic field, on the track field, on the basketball court, on the football field, we will do that in the corporate office. We will do that in the computer room. We will do that in the electronic room. That's why they don't want us up in there. But we got to be able to do that for ourselves now. So that's why we go back to those beginning questions about sovereignty and doing for self. I want to make this last statement, brother. When Black History Month comes around, we're constantly talking about all these black inventions. Today, more than 40% of all patents that are being used are done by Africans in America. But we don't benefit economically from none of those. See, because we got the wrong paradigm. When we shift our paradigm, when I invent something, then the benefits go to African people. A slush fund so that all children can have college free. And colleges that we control, not going to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and not Negro colleges in the South either. I went to one, I went to Norfolk State University. Those are just imitations of white university in blackface, okay? I'm talking about inventing institutions that develop skills to create sovereignty for the future. Do you understand that?
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
yes.
So we got to change our thinking pattern. That's what ancient Kemet does. And I respect my Nuwaubian brothers, but Nuwaubians can't go no further than Dr. York. You got to go beyond that. You got to have no limit, brother. And you can't, if you read Nubian, you can't read the ancient texts. You only read what was written yesterday.
Why do you think so much attention is given to ancient Kemet opposed to ancient Kush?
Ignorance, that's all. I know in my classes, we always start out with ancient Kush, and we let people know that ancient Kush actually pronounced Kash when you see the Badu lecture. Ancient Kash is the parent of ancient Kemet. Namar was a priest of ancient Kash when he united Upper and Lower Kemet. You know, I have a new book coming out, so let me just give you a plug. It's actually, the first book is already written. It's called Mfundishi Jhutyms and the Spirit of the Magi. And it will, the main thing is talking about how ancient Kash was always the savior of ancient Kemet whenever they were infiltrated by the Asiatics. Whenever they fell, they had to go south to ancient Kash, Tasseti, the brothers from the interior of Africa, to help liberate them. All 4 golden ages that our sacred and wise ancestors like Dr. Diop, Dr. Chancellor Williams, the Dr. Asa Hildy and them defined 4 golden ages of ancient Kemet, and they all were birthed from ancient Kash.
Yeah, brother, I want you to leave your contact information, any information possible that you got to give to these people, because these people need to contact you, brother, definitely.
All right. First of all, I'm here on 125th Street in Lenox Avenue, Malcolm X Boulevard, and I'm usually here 6 days a week, especially throughout the summer, and at least 3 days a week during the school year.
Right.
So we're right across from CVS.
You got CVS right there, Staples right here. The brother's right in front of Staples.
A phone number, 347-792-9138. Again, 347-792-9138. We have a Kemetic shrine here on 135th Street where we teach Badu Necha. We also teach Kupagani Ngumi, the Kemetic African martial arts, Aha Kemet system. We are the founders of the warrior art. We call it the Manchu combat arts, okay, after Manchu, of ancient Kemet. And if they go on my Facebook, and it's Mfundishi Jhutyms, I usually post things like we have coming up, museum trips. I take people to the museum and dispel all the lies and myths that Western world is perpetrating. I give workshops. In September, I have 2 powerful workshops, Christology and the ancient Kemetic legacy, understanding the culture so that you can understand the language. And then starting October all the way to December, I have Badu lecture classes, you know, so people can grasp this information so that they can at least free their slave. Free their slave.
I appreciate your time, brother. Peace. Say that again, because I want the people to hear that.
I'm in my aunt.
All right.